peoples of the worldwide federated internet. What's good? I got some more to talk about. So before I get into the other topic that I want to talk about, the president signed an executive order. The title of the executive order is Executive Order on Safe Policing for Safe Communities. And the interesting thing about all of this, at least in my opinion, trying to figure out how exactly to word it. How silent the media is on the fact that what is Congress doing through all of this? Like, seriously, what in the world is Congress doing? I really don't like the idea of ruling by executive order. I don't like it at all, but in some ways, I understand the position and the predicament if I were president. Like, something needs to be done. Nobody's acting. Well, nobody's going to do anything. I'm going to do something. The thing about executive orders, if I'm not mistaken, the next president that comes in can easily just undo all of his executive orders. If I'm not mistaken, it's the way that works. So I went through some highlights of this executive order. And one of the things that this executive order seeks to establish is for police agencies, it seeks to establish an independent auditing and review agency that will review these different police precincts, document all of this, record the data on how they're doing, how they perform, which is good. I can appreciate that. It's only 17 pages. Look, for those of you who never read any of these executive orders, you really should. They're all on whitehouse.gov. I normally, when there's a new bill that's brought to light, I normally try to read the bill, but this is probably the one area where I like executive orders versus some of these different bills. These executive orders are normally short, easy to read, very clear and concise language. If you've ever tried to read one of these bills that's pushed by Congress, that's another thing I think we need to look into. Some of these bills and the sheer length. Some of these bills are hundreds of pages, and there's no way a person is going to comb through all of that. Not me, at least. I'll normally skim through, try to find some key points, do some keyword searches, but they're normally out of this world. But anyway, some of the highlights. All Americans are entitled to live with the confidence that the law enforcement officers and agencies in their communities will live up to our nation's founding ideals and will protect the rights of all persons, particularly in African American communities. We must redouble our efforts as a nation to swiftly address instances of misconduct. Hey man, say what you want. He's clearly trying to address the issue. The Attorney General shall certify independent credentialing bodies that meet standards to be set by the Attorney General. Reputable independent credentialing bodies eligible for certification by the Attorney General should address certain topics in their reviews, such as policies, and training regarding use of force and de-escalation techniques, performance management tools such as early warning systems that help to identify officers who may require intervention, and best practices regarding community engagement. All right, so it seems to be trying to make an effort to actually make a difference. Um, the state or local enforcement agencies' use of force policies prohibit the use of chokeholds and a physical maneuver that restricts an individual's ability to breathe for the purpose of incapacitation, except in those situations where the use of deadly force is allowed by law. The Attorney General shall create a database to coordinate the sharing of information between and among federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial law enforcement agencies concerning instances of excessive use of force related to law enforcement matters, accounting for applicable privacy and due process rights. And I believe, was that all I highlighted? No, I highlighted one other part. The Attorney General shall regularly and periodically make available to the public aggregated and anonymized data from the database described in subsection A of this section as consistent with applicable law. And I believe, yeah, that was all I highlighted. So, I mean, I read through the whole thing. It seems fairly decent. It doesn't seem draconian or to try to overlord the different police precincts, but it does appear that it's trying to rein in police abuses. It's a good first step. It's something, right? Like, I mean, more can be done. It's not perfect, but it's something. And again, as I said, where's Congress? Where is Congress? Like, this is the thing. People get mad at the president for signing and pushing all of these executive orders, which I don't like ruling by executive order either. Where is Congress? Who's running Congress right now? Questions you should ask. Where are they? Why are they not addressing this? Their only thought is defund police. Okay. That's an idea. Where's your piece of legislation that deals with that? What exactly does it do? Where does that funding go? Where is Congress? What are they doing? Look, it doesn't matter. I'm no salesman or spokesman for Donald Trump. He can speak for himself. He's trying to do something. And he's attacking the issue directly. Where's Congress? Why is there no action? This is the wheelhouse of Congress. Law, legislation. This is what they do, or what they're supposed to do. Where are they? Something else I've noticed going on in the escalation, the coming escalation, to say, between protesters and I'd say other groups who consider themselves patriots. You could say the protesters might consider themselves patriots as well, but that's neither here nor there. The incident that happened in New Mexico, not gonna comment on it too much. I watched a video. I'm not an investigator. I don't know what the law is in New Mexico, so I can't really speak to whether the young man defending himself should have been arrested for shooting the protester. I don't know. I don't know what their laws are. Here's what I will say. They've been trying to make a run, certain politicians, on the Second Amendment for a long time. I heard somebody bring this up earlier, and I didn't really think about it until they brought it up. All of these protests pulling down all of these statues. Some of these people can't even tell you who these statues depict. They couldn't tell you anything about the people that these statues depict, but they want to tear them down. Why? Because their media overlords told them they should tear them down. I'm telling you, this is a zombie apocalypse. Not the one we were looking for, but a zombie apocalypse, no doubt. You have a bunch of... Now, I'm not saying all protesters are mindless. So don't take my words out of context and assume that that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying all protesters are mindless, but there is no doubt no one with a working brain can look at these protests and not recognize that a lot of these people are straight mindless, clearly following narratives that they've been force-fed. So they want to pull down all of these statues. They want to pretty much do away with American history. How long do you think it is before they call for undoing of the U.S. Constitution? That sounds extreme, right? But how long until the argument is made that the framers of the U.S. Constitution stole this country from the Indians? They were colonizers, and we shouldn't recognize that document. No country has a perfect history. No country has a perfect past. Many established nations right now got to where they are by conquest and taking land. Uncomfortable truth. It is what it is. So do you undo everything just because you have a tattered past? That's almost like saying a person let's say a person goes to jail for, let's say, attempted murder. They get out, they go to college, become a lawyer, change their life around. By that same logic, that person should never be allowed to do anything because of what they did in the past. So should our country be tore apart at the seams because we have a tattered past? That doesn't make sense. We've made progress. Anybody to say the United States hasn't made progress, especially when it comes to the area of race relations, that's foolishness. That's nonsense. Look, I can understand admitting that, yes, we still have an issue, but to not admit and acknowledge that we have made progress, that is mental gymnastics that I cannot entertain. It's just ridiculous. But how long until these people call for an undoing of the U.S. Constitution by the same logic they're using, tearing everything down? And ask yourself, I've asked this before, but I'm going to ask again, who benefits from that? Who would be behind that? Why would they want that? Are all of these protests organic? We need to start asking some questions. Before it gets real and we don't have the ability to ask these questions, we need to ask and we need to pay attention. There's going to be a run on the Second Amendment. That's the next thing coming. The fact that the video I watched in New Mexico, like I said, I don't know New Mexico's laws as far as the use of lethal use of force, self-defense. I don't know. All I know is I'll tell you what I saw with my own eyes. I don't know what happened before, but I know the man in the video was walking away. Dudes were following him. I heard one of the dudes say something about kill you. I don't know if he said, I'm going to kill you, he's going to kill you, but I heard kill you. Now, I'm thinking myself, I'm in a situation, I'm walking away, I have my sidearm on me, I hear somebody say something, kill you. Okay, I'm not thinking anything of it, I'm walking away. Then I get hit. Then I get jumped on by multiple people. I don't know about you, but at that point, that weapon is coming out. Because as far as I know, in my mind, these people are literally trying to kill me. Like I said, I'm not an investigator. I'm not a cop. I don't know the laws in New Mexico, but I know a lot of these situations are going to be used to make a run on the Second Amendment. It's coming. I'm telling you, prepare for all of this stuff. It's coming. Stay frosty, people.